Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a good evening. Definitely having a good evening. Addie is with me tonight. I got her backstage. We're trying a couple different things out with the streaming software that we have, and I've got most of it figured out, but I don't have all of it figured out. But that's okay. I'm still trying. There's my chat box. Everything seems to be working okay, but Addie's backstage. We're going to talk about a JFT from a couple days ago that was titled Write About It. For those that participate in an NA program, you guys may have read it. I think it was a couple days ago. And it talks a lot about journaling. It talks a lot about writing our feelings down and putting things down on paper. Um, when we're going through some shit, you know, um, kind of a nightly inventory or a daily inventory when we're really going through stuff. And it's really, really helpful to do. It was something that wasn't easy for me to do, but we are going to talk about that more. I am going to bring Addie on first and let her say hello to everybody as soon as I can get myself together in here. I got too many buttons to click. Hey, look, she's really tiny.
Get
And
together, Joe.
she actually is really tiny in real life too, guys. So
She is very tiny in real
here,
life.
let me bring my mini me over to my shoulder. There we go. So
I'm
yeah,
fun size. That's what that is.
fun size Addy. That sounds like an amazing movie. How's that? We'll leave it. We'll leave it at
We'll
leave
just
it.
leave that right there. Just leave that there.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
That's a
And
different kind of channel. I'm sorry. That's an
yeah,
oldest
well, I
man
mean,
kind of channel.
we are kind of rated R recovery. This is really weird because obviously we're in the same house, but Addie is out in our dining room
In my
area
studio.
and got her studio set up with a new camera and a new microphone that's working way better than what was on there. And the picture looks absolutely amazing compared to what was on there before. But yeah, we're going to talk about this reading. I am going to bring the reading up and share on it or actually read about it. And you guys can comment. What do you guys do? Do you guys journal? Do you like to journal? Do you not like to journal? Throw us your feedback. What works for you guys? That's what we're interested in. We're going to tell you what works for us. And, it's what works for us may not work for you guys. And that's completely okay. There's no problem with that. I'm going to take Addie back off camera here real quick so I can screen share the other screen here. You guys are going to see my audio equipment here for a brief second why I do this. And I get that screen up. It says write about it. And that annoying recovery warriors is in my way. And I'm going to get rid of it. It says we sit down with a notebook, ask for guidance, pick up our pen, and we start writing. It's on the basic text and page number 30. If you guys are following along on the NA side, says we are confused in our pain. Our sponsor sometimes tells us to write about it. Though we may groan as we drag out the notebook, we know that it's going to help. How many of you guys have done that? I know I have, because I didn't like to write, especially early in recovery. Feelings suck. A good friend of mine in California says, embrace the suck, and sometimes we have to embrace those feelings. And it took me a long time to realize that. And it took me a long time to get honest and share about them. Because we know it helps. We're reluctant to do it. We're hesitant. We're not open minded and willing to do that. It says by laying it all out on paper, we give ourselves the chance to sort through what's really bothering us, what's going on with us. It says we know we can get to the bottom of our confusion if we find out what's really causing our pain and we put the pen to the paper. It says writing can be rewarding. And believe me, it can be very rewarding, especially when working through the steps, when we're utilizing our sponsor, and we are thoroughly working the 12-step program, no matter what 12-step program you work. It says many members maintain a spiritual journey simply thinking about the steps. We got Piper and her butt photobombing Addi. This is amazing. It says simply thinking about the steps, pondering what their meanings are, going through them. What do they mean? What do they mean to you? And analyzing the effect is not sufficient for most of us. It says there's something about the physical action of writing that helps us fix the principles of recovery in our mind and in our hearts. It says the rewards we find through the simple action of writing are many: clarity of thought, keys to locked places inside of us, and the voice of conscience are just a few. It says writing helps us to be more honest with ourselves. It says we sit down quiet in our thoughts and we listen to our hearts. What we hear in the stillness are the truths that we put down on paper. Just for today, one of the ways I can search for the truth in recovery is to write, is to journal. I will write my recovery today. Write it down on paper. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to bring me back on and then bring Addi back on. So, what are your thoughts on that reading, Addi? I'm going to let you share first. I'm seeing you
Well,
writing, seeing you
yeah.
writing your notes down. So, what do you
I was
got in your
writing.
head?
I was drawing too, and that to me sometimes is more therapeutic to actually put pen to paper and draw out what I'm feeling instead of actually writing it down. But
Right.
it's that making it tangible. If I have something rolling around in my brain, I need to write it down and get it out of my head and get it on a piece of paper so I can either see it and have that ability to then look at it and then see how I need to proceed, or get it out of my head and then put it in my God box or wherever and get rid of it in one form or another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does to me. I know early on in recovery, like I said, when I first started to share, it was always recommended to me to write, to journal, to talk about my innermost thoughts. Well, I'm a guy. I've been incarcerated. I've been locked up. I've gone through a lot of pain and a lot of trauma. I was brought up not to show my emotions, not to share my feelings with another man, especially, but anyone in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not easy to do. So, getting honest with myself first and, then trying to find the ability to get honest with other people was not easy for me. And it started with journaling. I used to despise journaling. And today I absolutely love the journal. I love to write down. I mean, Addie could contest to how many notebooks I have burned up. Uh, I mean, in the last year, at least the last year. I mean, it's been amazing how much I have written down, how many notes I have written down in meetings where I write down my feelings or I write down sharing about topics. I have just found it very therapeutic for me to be open minded and willing to share what's going on. Sometimes sharing with my sponsor or sharing with Addie or someone else in recovery, someone else that's like minded,
Mm-hmm.
for me, um, it just doesn't, it's not enough. I need to write it down. And the therapeutic value for me is to be able to go back 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and see where I was at in my recovery journey
Mm-hmm.
then versus where I'm at now, and actually see the growth, like how much I've changed as a person.
Right.
Mentally, spiritually, and physically. Like I was talking to Jersey Ed today on the phone. We talked for a while today from Friends in Recovery podcast. And, he said, hell, he does it too. And sometimes, it might be from something that was a week ago. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I was acting like an idiot just a week ago, and he's got years and years and years clean. Like, he's
those,
been in recovery a minute, so it just
those
goes to
bad
show
habits
that
pop up. We revert back to bad behavior. That's just kind of
right,
the
right. I
nature of
mean,
it.
wow, we have our friend from South Africa on here. Man, it is super late for you, girlfriend. Wow. Thank you for being on and watching. It's freaking amazing. Our time difference is absolutely horrendous. And I know it's super late for you. But wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you're on here. That's cool. Welcome. But yeah, Ed and
So
I were talking. It just doesn't. It's a proven fact. It doesn't matter if you've got 6 days or you have 6 years or a decade. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It doesn't matter. It's something that I think each and every one of us have to remain
my
vigilant in our
my late
recovery.
my late sponsor had 30 years in, and she would be honest and say, "Hey, look, I slipped up today." 30 years of 4 meetings a week, and countless working her steps and countless sponsees and all that. And she would say, "Hey, look, I totally forgot everything I learned,"
Yeah, I mean
and completely went off the deep end for a minute.
the character defects are right there knocking at the door every single day. I act out on character defects every single day. Some days are better than others. I haven't been feeling well lately, guys, and apparently drug use affects your teeth. Go figure. So my using has my mouth messed up, and I have infection riddled in my mouth right now, and it's transferring over into my ear. So right now, my ear not only sounds like a horrible seashell, um, I've got ungodly pressure and ringing in my right ear, caused from this infection that I'm struggling with right now. And it's giving me vertigo, it's giving me nausea. Anyone that's ever gone through that and experienced it,
Not pleasant.
you know what I'm dealing with. It was so bad the other day when I was driving to work that it kind of felt like I was drunk. Like, I was walking ahead of myself and I was woozy and it was just a terrible feeling. And, that even brought back some memories. But it's just wreckage in my past, I guess, that I'm dealing with now. It's something character defect I procrastinate on and I put off because I have a phobia and a fear of going to the dentist and having my teeth yanked out.
Hmm.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have them all pulled and, at least my uppers and going to have some chompers sitting in the bathroom at night when I go to bed, and I mean, that's okay. I know I'm not the first one and I'm not going to be the last one, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I'm still, fearful of, being 45 years old and I got false teeth. But it's not the end all be all. What are you laughing at, woman?
Mental
But
picture of
yeah,
you putting your teeth on the side of the bed.
yeah. I
Awesome.
mean, like denture cream and false teeth are supposed to be for old men, not for middle-aged 45-year-old guys. But it happens, and I'm not knocking the middle-aged 45-year-old guys out there, the guys that are even younger than me, because I know, man or woman, I'm not the only one, and I'm definitely not the youngest one for sure.
Hmm.
It's just something I'm afraid of, guys. You know what I mean? And it's something that I've put off. And, I've journaled and I've wrote that, and I've talked about that because that's just something because I struggle with self-esteem, the self-worth, the self-value.
Hmm.
I want to look good for people because I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to like me, knowing damn
Hey,
well that
you look good
not
today.
everyone's gonna like me.
No.
Um,
I like you. That's the important part.
I know. Well, that's a little different.
That is a
But
little
like I don't smile nearly as much as I should or could because of my teeth and the way my teeth have been. But I've gotten over it somewhat. Like I can go live in front of a live audience right now
different.
um, and be okay with it. I can laugh and cut up with you guys, but it still doesn't mean that it don't bother me. You know, um, yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I can bring her comment up. Says definitely not the end. Just had mine done and saw it as a gift to myself for my sobriety. And see, that's awesome. You know, it's changing that negative outlook that I'm projecting right now and changing it into a positive one. And anyone that's ever heard me share knows
You're
how big
getting
I
all
am on that.
garbly.
What's that?
I said you're all garbly.
It says, hey, our stream's having connection issues. That's
I
weird.
see that. That's
Yeah. Oh
annoying.
well.
I think we're okay now.
Yeah, that's fine. But she saw it as a gift. Says hers were shocking, and you're gonna love it. And you know, I appreciate the support. You know, that's just proof is in the pudding that the beauty of the we and the therapeutic value of one person, one addict, one alcoholic, um, is without parallel. You know, because we're here to support one another. We're here to love one another. We're here to care on one another. We're here to boost one another up. And that's exactly what just happened. You know,
Mhm.
that's awesome because I am hard on myself at times. You know, I beat myself up. You know, I still
Well,
occasionally pump quarters in that ass kicking machine, and
to,
I don't give myself a break.
yeah. So to connect that with the journaling, I write positive affirmations. Remember when you were in like grade school and you had to write your sentences because you did something wrong? You know, I will not spit wads at the teacher or whatever over and over and over again, or write your spelling words. I'll do that with positive affirmations, you know, just over and over and over again until my brain starts to believe it. Those days that I'm not 100%, you know.
I went to a Catholic school, and in grade school, I was at a Catholic school. So, you know, I was getting smacked on the knuckles with a ruler or a pointer from a 150-year-old nun that had more facial hair than I did.
Sister Mary
So,
Teresa.
Sister Mary, holy shit, I'm really old. Yeah. So that was my grade school experience. But I understand the positive affirmations, the positive self talk, um,
My
the
dad
attitude
used
of
to teach
gratitude.
at a Catholic school. Did I ever tell you that?
That you what?
My dad used to teach at a Catholic school when he was a student teacher.
No idea.
Hmm. He had a whole bunch
Huh.
of nuns in a boat one time in bikinis. It was a whole side story. I'll tell you later.
Wow. Wow, that's going to be recovery after hours, guys. I get to
Uh-huh.
hear about that and bikinis and all kinds of funny stuff. That's crazy. But yeah, journaling. Chat's not very active tonight, which is okay. But journaling works, guys. Writing our feelings down and sharing open and honestly with other people definitely works. And I
Yeah.
highly recommend and sharing with other people in recovery, sharing with your sponsor, people that you trust. Make sure it's somebody you trust because people will talk shit about you.
So
It's just,
I feel
do
like
what?
I feel like I'm in a safe space today, so I'm going to share this. I have a
Okay.
mild addiction to stationery supplies. I have to watch back to school season and Hobby Lobby completely. But I used to like to buy all the cute notebooks and the cute journals, you know, because I was gonna write all kinds of things in them. But then once I bought them, I didn't want to write in them because I didn't want to ruin them. So I would have like 10 journals sitting on a table that were empty because I didn't want to mess them up by writing in them. Isn't that bizarre?
Alrighty then.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't go into Hobby Lobby with Addy because there's a lot of things in Hobby Lobby that I enjoy
He'll
myself.
spend more
So
money than me at the Hobby Lobby. I'm just saying. I go
yeah,
in, get what I know what I need. I know where it is. I bypass all the home decor crap and all the other
I'm
fancy stuff.
I'm
And
secure enough in my masculinity that I can say I like going into Hobby Lobby. So
you know,
um,
I'm comfortable to say that my boyfriend is crafty, and I like that. You know, it actually comes in handy that he's got a
yeah,
creative side.
I
So
enjoy it. I have an artistic side of me, and I get that from my dad. I get that from my sister. Both fantastic artists. You know, and I just enjoy it. It's just one of those old hobbies that I enjoy doing that um, I through my active addiction, I lost straight away from, and like it's starting to come back. Like all the graphics guys, these backgrounds, things that you see that when Addie and I go live, and all the streaming that I do, I design all those myself. There's no, um, it's just something that comes off the top of my head. When I went live tonight and I had to write about it with the girl and the little smiley face, like I just I just go with whatever first pops into my head. It's no secret. I use Canva. I use Canva Pro and I use Pixlr on my phone. And I literally design this entire stream, my backgrounds, my intros, everything that you guys see happen here is literally made off of my Android phone and transferred over to my computer. Um, and evidently I'm doing a halfway decent job at it because I make a lot of flyers for people for online meetings, AA and NA alike. I've got other podcasts asking me for help with ideas and coming up with um, YouTube um, screens. For they don't call it a screen, but I forget what the verbiage is that YouTube uses, but it's the picture you see when you go to click on it.
The
Um,
thumb, the
the
thumbnail.
thumbnail. There you
Thumbnail.
go. I'm having a brain
Okay.
fart. The thumbnail.
Well, what? What?
Yeah, like I enjoy doing these things. I like doing them.
Well,
And I
what's
know I'm
funny?
way off.
I'm the one that has the graphic design degree, and you're the one that does all of the things. Because I got into the graphic design. I don't enjoy it all that much, to be honest. I got into the graphic design, so I had a degree and something to do, and I haven't used it for the
And
whole
I
time
love
I've had it.
doing it. I love doing
But
it. I like just going through the programs and making things. When it gets overly technical, um, it's too much for me. Like it has to stay fun for me.
mhm.
Um, you've got another comment on here relating back to what you shared. She says she does the same. Says love those funky journals and glitter pens. She says I'm with you on this one.
Yep.
Addie says got a full clip or a cupboard full. Yeah, I mean it's like we trade our addiction, one for another. Mine's this audio video equipment, live streaming. I just bought a new, it's a gaming computer that's complete overkill for what I'm doing. But I got a great deal on it, and I don't ever have to worry about having streaming issues ever. I could probably be playing video games right now on my computer while I'm streaming and not have any problems. But it's really awesome, and it's a blessing in recovery. I had gone live with friends in recovery, and I had shared about um, my bed, our bed, Addie and I's bed. It was the first bed, brand new bed that her and I have owned or had. And I mean, how long's it been for you?
Oh God. Well, it
How many
lives on that.
years?
It's got to be 8, 9 years. Well, I mean, if you count the futon, I bought my futon, so that was my bed, but it wasn't
Recon is not a bed.
comfortable.
This thing sucks. They
So
suck as a bed. Yeah, I mean, it's just the blessings of recovery is where I'm going with it. Like, you know, having the ability to buy these things new, it's just awesome, man. It's really awesome, and there's a lot of gratitude in that. And I've written about all this. Everything that I'm sharing with you guys, and Addie and I are talking about tonight, are all things that we can relate back to writing it down and writing
what
about it and journaling.
one of my character defects is perfectionism, like hardcore. And I used to have a problem with having to write stuff down. And it would be like I'd make even my grocery list. I would have to make it super pretty. And if I misspelled one word, it would get all crumpled up and thrown, and I would start all over again. I have my best friend suffers from the same thing, man. We'll be sitting there writing lists and just there'll be a whole pile of paper sitting there. But luckily I have gotten over that and I can just now write down stuff and I don't need it to be pretty. I don't need it to be perfect. Just as long as it's on the paper is all that matters. And to me, that's a great, like, it's a massive step forward for me that I can do that, that I don't have to completely, make it look professional just because it's my grocery list.
Yeah, I can already see one thing we'll have to improve. The Wi-Fi connection out in the other room kind of sucks ass. You're you're breaking up, Captain. That's all
Yep,
right.
you are breaking up.
Well, for those that don't know, Mr. Stringfellow, this is the amazing gentleman in Tennessee that helps guide this crazy asshole um, through his 12-step program. And he said he could definitely benefit by writing more, especially on his sixth step. I don't think he minds sharing. We both have been procrastinating and putting things off, playing with new toys. Mine has been my computer stuff because I have, you know, gone from spending all my money on dope to spending the majority of our money on audio video equipment and computers and live streaming stuff. I've kind of traded one for another. And, when I get done with a full 8 hours of work, and I work in recovery. I'm tired. Trying to hide his message. There we go. I'm tired, and like I come home and sometimes I'll take a nap, especially here lately when I haven't been feeling good, and I rest. And you know, I haven't even eaten my dinner yet. Like I'm still trying to find balance. Like my boss today called me out on my bullshit
Good.
while
That's
we
what
were
you need to do.
talking. I know she's amazing. My boss at work is
You
she's
and I
kick
need to have
ass.
a conversation.
She's really cool, and she's like, the other day when we were talking on the phone, and we talk, our relationship, our boss employee relationship, feels like more mom and son to me. It really does, because we're on that level. She's still super professional at work, but yet we can still cut up and talk and really be serious and set the work aside and really get personal in our conversations. And that happened today. And she was like, "You mentioned to me a couple days ago, and this just goes to show how much she really pays attention and listens to me." She said, "You told me you were struggling with balance." She goes, "What are you struggling with? What are you trying to balance? Explain to me so I can try to help you." And I did. And, this is no surprise to people that know me really well. Um, and we talked like it was an amazing conversation. We talked for well over an hour today. And it's exactly what I'm sharing with you guys. It's going to work, it's coming home from work, finding me time, self care time, finding time because I love to go live. I love to share experience, strength, and hope with you guys. I love to bring people on. I love to hear the stories. I enjoy doing this. And here lately, I haven't done it as much because I've had to try to find that balance. I just banged my microphone. And I have to take time out for myself and remember to keep myself in my recovery first. And I haven't necessarily been doing that as much as I should be, especially when it comes to my step work. My sponsor's on here. He's calling himself out and I'm calling myself out. Like I'm just as guilty. I haven't participated in that nearly as much as I should be.
Hmm.
Um, I still journal and I still write every single day. I do that religiously. I do it at work. I do it here in the room. Um, I can reach down right now and pick a random notebook up and open it up. And what do you guys see? You know what I mean? Like, that's actually step work right there. But like every single page, I can turn the page and it's nothing but chicken scratch and notes that I understand. Like I know what it is. I know what it means. Um, I do it religiously. I'm going to bring up a couple more comments.
Here's here's one of my favorite journals that I have right now.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck this
Absolutely.
shit.
I
It's a
have
really
that.
cool. It's actually a really cool book. It's a gratitude journal. It's got a whole bunch of different pages with gratitude stuff on it, and then different prompts that you can do.
Nice.
But that one's fun. I
Mr.
like to have those.
Stringfellow. You got to change your name on there, man. I cannot call you Michael. It's Mikey.
I know it's
When I
weird.
see Michael on there, I'm like,
How do we
Michael
look? How do we
Stringfellow.
look on
Do you have any
57 inches
Grapefruit,
of
Mr.
your?
Stringfellow?
How do we, Mikey? How do we look on your 57-inch, 27K HD quad screen?
He,
I can't think of anything else.
he wishes he had a 57-inch, 8 billion K TV. So do I. Shit. Yeah, he's lost in TV land right now. I told her about the blessing of recovery, and what happened the other day. I said, yeah, my sponsor is going to be MIA. He's going to be stuck watching TV. Addi said that you're going to have to stock up on lotion. I don't know what she meant
I
with that,
totally
but
did.
she got this nice, beautiful 4K TV.
You
She
know
goes, I hope
what?
he's stocked up. She goes, I hope Mikey's stocked up on lotion. How fucked up is that?
I think that goes back to our previous conversation at the beginning, talking about some OnlyFriends or OnlyFans pages.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him that Tatas would look really good. Would look really good on his new TV. But all right, we're getting way off topic. But he said he's been
You just
writing a
went and
bit.
ran with it. It's funny.
Hey, welcome to Dayton Strong Recovery 101.
Rated
My
R.
name's Joe. This is my girlfriend Addi. We're your hosts tonight, and
Please send all hate mail to
yeah,
Dayton
Mr.
Strong Recovery
Stringfellow,
at
Mr. Stringfellow at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. We're definitely rated R for recovery. That's what recovery is all about, guys. Though, I mean, seriously, you got to be able to laugh and be yourself. Like we are being Joe and Annie right now. We're
I
not.
needed I needed to come on with you because, to be honest, I was not in a great mood. I've been feeling kind of sad today. I don't know why. I've just been
Yeah,
kind of
I
kind of
mean,
sad and lonely today. So I needed a good laugh to come on and
anyone that knows me and Addie know that this is how we are every day. This is how we are all the time, and I'm not going to hide that or portray something that I'm not anymore. I'd done that for so long. I had hid and I wasn't honest with people about who I really was and who I am and what my true thoughts and feelings were. If you guys see me leaning over, I'm petting our cat because she's hungry and she hasn't been fed yet.
she hasn't come out and yelled at me because she knows I won't
No,
be
she's in here
right
cussing me
now.
out right now. So yeah, it's just us. I mean, you got to have fun in recovery. Recovery is fun. It doesn't have to be so damn serious. Like, have fun. Live a little, cut up, laugh, joke
My higher
around,
power has a sense of humor.
say shit and
So,
damn. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, he said he wants to share and recover out loud, and it's finally getting closer to being done. You have recovered out loud. You recover out loud all the time. You've recovered out loud with me live, with the other Mikey in Tennessee or the other
I
Mike
love
in
hearing his
Tennessee.
comments, man.
You
I love
guys
him.
were amazing, and we need to do that again. There's between just the two of you alone, there's 50 years of recovery, man. I mean, that is ungodly. It's 5 decades of recovery. That's
They're old. They're old.
unbelievable. You old bastards.
Old bastard.
That's amazing though. Like that is amazing experience, strength, and hope. Like you recover out loud more than you realize. You recover out loud. Like
That
you
sounds like a movie.
you can be poster child for recover out loud. Just
Where
don't be in the picture with a bottle of lotion because that would really be creepy. That would be really really creepy.
it sounds like a movie or an album cover. The Tennessee
Yeah,
Mikeys, the old bastards.
you old bastards. I relate to that, and I agree with him. I have been fortunate myself also to be able to recover out loud since I've gotten clean, and I participate daily. You guys hear me share this all the time. How important recovering out loud is to me, and I feel it should be to each and every one of you guys listening tonight. Our story is super powerful. Next to my higher power, which I choose God, is the most powerful tool in my recovery toolbox is recovering out loud and sharing our lived experience, because we all have a unique
Hmm.
lived experience. We all have a unique story. We all have our unique experience, strength, and hope. And we just never know what people are struggling with, what they're going through, what their pains or struggles are at any given moment, any given day. There's times where I've gone to meetings or I've shared online or been in an in person meeting, and what I thought I was sharing was verbal vomit and just BS in my mind, um, ended up helping someone else and was pulled aside after the meeting,
Yeah.
whether in chat or in the parking lot and in an in person meeting. And someone would say, "Man, I really related to what you shared, and thank you for sharing it." Like,
Yeah.
that's just the power, that therapeutic value.
Yeah.
It's just
It is.
amazing because, what we share, sometimes we don't realize we're helping other people until after the fact. And
When
that's
I
why I
gave my
say,
leave the other night, I had no idea. I still couldn't tell you what I said. And
I
I know
relate to that.
there are some stories that I told that I had no intention of telling during that stream. It was not wrote down. It was not intentionally going to tell some of the stories, but apparently somebody needed to hear it. I've heard nothing but good things come back, and hey, I got this from your story and that from your story, and you know, I there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about because it's not stuff I want to relive, but I have to share that because there are some people that are still in it,
Right.
that are still suffering and still. One of the best lessons I've learned in my recovery is that other people's opinions of me are none of my business. And once I learned that was freedom there. It was the ability to get some of my self worth back and remember who I was and figure out who I was again.
That's the fixer. That's the people pleaser attributes of wanting to be Captain Save a Ho or Captain Save a Bro all the time. Being that fixer, being that
I had
saver.
the whole spandex outfit with the cape and everything, man.
Wow,
I
where
was
is that?
I was Captain Savaho. It's in a box somewhere.
I need to see this.
That goes
Because
back to
those,
the other videos again.
wow,
Yeah.
I just cannot picture you in spandex whatsoever. That would be Addi flying around our apartment, all 4 foot 11 and a half of her in spandex and a cape, guys.
I own
Next
one
week,
pair of leggings. I can rock the leggings for you later, and we can.
next week live on Dayton Strong Recovery 101, we're gonna have Super Addy.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So yeah, journaling, guys. That's what the stream has been tonight. Despite many squirrel outs, trying to keep it fun. That's just me. That's Addy. We love going live together. We hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys laughed with us.
Write some
Because
shit down.
yeah, write your feelings down. Get it down on paper. Trust me.
It's a meditation for me. It's one of those things. Sometimes I get answers
Yeah,
when I'm journaling that I didn't even know that I was. Things come out when you're reading it later that you're like, when did I write that? But it answers questions that maybe you were asking.
right.
You know.
Yeah, I've done that where I've written something down on paper and then went back like a week or so later and reread it and wrote what was on my heart and on my mind and didn't necessarily understand it when I first wrote it down, and
Hmm.
then went back, and kind of relived it and reread it and thought about it again, and I had a little bit more clarity,
Yeah.
um, of what was really going on with me because it's internal. For me, it's internal. It's always internal. It's always what's going on with me from the inside.
Mhm.
And sometimes I don't see it right away. Sometimes it takes someone else to point it out to me, and sometimes I figure it out on my own. And journaling and writing it helps. It helps with
Mhm.
that self evaluation, and figuring it out. And I like to do things on my own, and I like to finger. Wow, you see where my mind's at?
I
Figure
didn't
things
say
out.
anything there.
Uh, do not go there. I like to
Mhm.
figure things out. On my own. Yeah. So that was awkward. leave it up to me.
It's,
But
it's only awkward if you let it be awkward.
that's true. But yeah, and that's why I like journaling so much, because I have gone back and looked at my early journals um, when I first went into Woodhaven, which is a residential treatment center here in Dayton. And I started journaling while I was in there, and I read some of the stuff that I had written down while I was in there in my old paperwork. Wow. I'm just totally blown away at where my thought process and where my mindset was then, um, versus where it's at now. Bring a couple more up before we close off here. Says in bed with the dreaded C. Oh God, girlfriend, I have been there and gone through that myself. But extremely grateful for my sobriety and recovery. I'm very grateful alcoholic, only by the grave of my higher power and working the steps. It's worth it if you work it. Absolutely. I
I forgot what the
share and
dreaded C
share.
was for a second. I've
The
lived
dreaded
in
C,
denial. I was like, what's
the
the dreaded
Rona.
C? And then I was like, oh fuck. All right then.
See, she's remaining vigilant in her recovery.
Yep.
Shares and chairs weekly at a different AA group, and it cut you off from there. But yeah, um, it's
Said
important.
my
It's
she
super.
says at the end, my life is much more alive.
Yes.
That's the part it cut off.
Amen.
That's the important part.
That is. Yeah. Oh, okay. I can see it.
See.
I can see it on my other screen, but on this one I can't.
I'm watching it from the feed on Facebook. So
Absolutely.
things.
Lori, that's
Hello,
our
lovely.
our friend from
Austin,
Texas,
Austin, Texas.
Austin. Austin. I haven't heard the squirrely voice, the chipmunk voice here lately. It's kind of depressing. What's going on, Lori? I need to hear some new videos from Lori in our Texan chipmunk. We love you too, brother. Definitely keep on rocking in the free world. We love you guys. I am calling it a night. Addie's
Right.
calling it a night. I'm going to go eat my dinner. Thank you guys for participating in your recovery.
You guys are a
Not
rock star.
only,
Go be awesome.
not only, yes, not only your recovery, but our recovery. We love each and every one of you guys. Remain vigilant, stay positive, participate in your recovery. We will talk to you guys later. If I can figure out how to get this to transition, you guys might see an outro, or you might just see Addi dancing around on the screen. You're going to see me. Look at that. Look, she's down on my right hand corner now. See? She looks cute when she's smaller. Kinda. I love you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. And she's still dancing.